Hey guys, what is up? Zach Ginn here, and welcome to day 3 of the 30-day wholesaling challenge. And on day 3, I want to talk about the ultimate virtual wholesaling real estate guide. That's right, if you're looking to get started virtually wholesaling real estate, this is going to be the guide for you. Now, in day 2, we were talking about should we locally or should we virtually wholesale real estate? Well, if you're stuck virtually wholesaling, this is the video for you. Now, this is going to be my complete 2-3 hour super duper crazy breakdown of virtual wholesaling. This is just going to give you an overview of the virtual wholesaling process. So I do recommend you go to freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course, to get the complete guide on everything I have on virtual wholesaling, the scripts and everything on there. But I mean, if you're in the challenge, you already know that's all we talk about. So I've already talked about virtually wholesaling and local wholesaling and the differences before, but really all you need to know again is virtual wholesaling is the process of regular wholesaling houses, except we're doing it behind our computers. We're doing it behind our cell phones, right? All we really need is an internet connection. This means if we are international across anywhere in the world, if we got the internet connection, we can virtually wholesale. Now, the first thing we have to understand about virtual wholesaling real estate is where do I find a good market? Now, in the future and in day 6 of the 30-day wholesaling challenge, we're going to deep dive really hard on what makes a good virtual wholesaling market. But for virtual wholesaling specifically, if you're looking to find a market, I would tell you to stick to my 2 main criteria. Criteria 1, making sure that the population of the city or county is above 100,000 people. We want enough people living in the area, and we want the median home price to be below 400,000. If the median home price is 400K or below, we can get better discounts. And if the population is over 100,000, there's plenty of buyers and a big enough economy in that area that we can actually sell our virtual wholesaling deals to cash buyers. That's it. Make sure it fits those criteria. Population, you can Google search it. And to figure out median home price, all you really have to do is just Google search it, maybe Houston, Texas, median home price, and it'll pop up pretty easy right there. Now, virtual wholesaling is not for the faint of heart. There are a certain amount of skills that are required to become successful in virtual wholesaling, and I think you should know them up front. This is the same thing in regular wholesaling, but specifically for virtual wholesaling. Number 1, phone skills. Guys, you're gonna have to have skills being on the phone and overcoming your mindset of, oh, I'm not good on the phone or I can't do anything well on the phone. No, you're going to have to overcome this mental mindset that you have in your mind that you can't become a successful wholesaler or that you can't talk to motivated sellers. You're going to also have to stick to the scripts and stick to the systems that we have set forth in freewholesaling.com on how to virtually wholesale. Now, you're gonna see in this challenge that I have a lot of rules for you. I have a lot of rules of exactly what you need to do and what you can't be doing in virtually wholesaling and in regular wholesaling real estate. Once you break these rules, you are going to lose. I haven't done thousands of wholesaling deals and not gotten my butt kicked a couple times. And the best way that I've had success with this is by sticking to some fundamental rules that have always helped me out in wholesaling. Now, if we can mix these skills with patience and consistency, we're set up for virtual wholesaling success. Now, in virtual wholesaling real estate, there are certain tools that we should know to use that we don't usually use in regular wholesaling real estate. Number 1, and probably the most common one, is going to be what we call an e-signing service or an e-signature service. This is going to be a service where we can actually get our contract signed over the phone or over the computer. This can be like PandaDoc, Adobe, Dotloop, or DocuSign, where we can send the contract over to the seller virtually for them to sign it. Now, the regular wholesaling real estate process versus the virtual wholesaling process, the only big difference is number 1, we are going to negotiate, talk to the seller, and do everything over the phone. We're going to have somebody come by and inspect the property we're not physically doing. We're going to have somebody do it. We're going to have to explain it the right way to the motivated seller. And then we're having the cash buyer walk through without us being there because we're probably going to be international or something, right? Outside of that, it's the same process. And the tools are very similar. The e-signature service is really the only big difference we're going to see here. Okay, next question is, yes, I know what virtual wholesaling real estate is, but how do I start finding virtual wholesaling deals? Is this process different than regular wholesaling or virtual wholesaling? Well, the answer is in virtual wholesaling, the only big difference is we can't drive for dollars. We can't physically go get the government list ourselves. And we can do the same paid list that we get from dmzac.com, listrei.com, or ZachDay that we usually always use. That's pretty much it. And so if you want to figure out how to find great virtual wholesaling deals, it's pretty much the same as regular wholesaling real estate, except for no reverse drawing for dollars or regular drawing for dollars at all. We're going to stick to cold calling, texting, and of course, digital bandit signs. More of these marketing tactics are going to be followed in the coming videos in the 30-day wholesaling challenge, so stay tuned. And again, this is all taught inside of freewholesaling.com if you just want to skip a little bit of it and just go straight into it. But really, the old school tactics that have worked for me and hundreds of thousands of other wholesalers like you guys watching is going to still work today and get you your first deal in this 30-day wholesaling challenge. Now, again, government lists, this is going to be on day 8, so do stay tuned, but these are going to be like code violations, water shutoffs, fire damaged properties, tax delinquencies, liens. I can go on and on forever about this. And then some of the paid lists, right? List, we have to go to listrei.com for, or one of my favorites, dmzach.com, because the skip tracing is basically free with it, unlimited. But you can start pulling the high equities, the vacants, the tired landlords, the liens. You can even stack lists, right? Using my right filters that we're going to teach in this challenge, I would stick to those on the paid section too, and really go to work. Now, shout out to dmzach.com because you can pull these lists and get all the skip tracing included, even pulling the government list, getting the skip tracing at dmzach.com. That's probably one of the fastest ways for virtual wholesalers to be doing it. Because I get asked, I'm a virtual wholesaler. Why do I want to use a drawing for dollars platform? Well, dmzach.com is basically like any other paid softwares now. You can pull really high quality leads. It does have a drawing for dollars app featured in there, and then you get their phone numbers. Now, the reason I'm telling you about this is because we got to talk about the next part. How do we get these sellers' phone numbers, right? We're not drawing for dollars. How do I get their information? Well, the best way to get your motivated sellers' phone numbers is through 3 websites, 1 paid and 2 free. Now, if I have a list and you don't have any money at all, my number 1 recommendation is going to tell you to go to cyberbackgroundchecks.com. It's the best way to find anyone's phone number for free. Then my other favorite website is truepeoplesearch.com. Now, if you do have some money and you just want to bulk upload and get all your skip tracing done quick, easy, and simple, and probably for the cheapest, just go to dmzach.com. It's the best quality, especially for the price. Then we start doing our regular virtual wholesaling marketing. We're going to cold call. We're going to text our sellers. We're going to hopefully JV with other sellers. Again, in the coming days, we're going to talk about this, but if you really want to get more information on the marketing, just go to freewholesaling.com and we get to work. From there, we're going to get them to actually get the contract signed. Now from our marketing, we're going to get some sellers that are going to want to sell their property. What we're going to do is qualify them, make sure they're actually wanting to sell their property, talk to them over the phone, and then just give our offer to the motivated seller. Once they agree to that offer we give them over the phone, what we're going to do is send them over an email with the contract for them to click and sign it. So it's all legally binding. We got to use our right title companies and we get the contract signed, and it's all virtually done, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I have a 3-step simple process when it comes to locking up deals for virtual wholesaling. Number 1, we condition the seller and we do the phone appointment. Then we send the offer, lock up the contract, and bring it over to title. And then step 3, we find our boots on the ground, we take the pictures, and then bring it to the buyer. Simple as that. Now, once the seller agrees to our offer, we are going to stay on the phone, send over the contract for their e-signing service. Personally, I'm going to recommend you sign. Don't get off the phone till they sign it. You can say something like, hey, great, I'm glad we can agree on an offer right now. What we're going to do is send you over an agreement right now for you to sign. Let me know if you see it in your email. Then you stay on there, they sign it, say, great. What we're going to do is we're going to have our team reach out in the next couple days to go see when we can go look at the property. Remember, that's not going to affect our agreed price at all. And we're going to have our title company reach out to you so we can know exactly where to get your money, run the title, and make sure the transaction is as smooth as possible so we can close on the date of your choosing. And then boom, after that, we get pictures taken of the property. We find our cash buyer, walk them to the house. We let the seller know, hey, our partner's going to come by, get them to sign the assignment of contract, bring everything over to title, and get our check. Now, you're probably asking, you're leaving out a lot of stuff here. What do I say to the motivated seller? How do I find our boots on the ground? What do I say to the boots on the ground? How much do I pay them? What do I tell the title company? Again, I'm kind of repeating myself here, but it is true. This is all inside of freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course, the complete step-by-step video. Do not want this video to be a 7-hour marathon. Just a quick explanation on virtual wholesaling so we understand what it is, how the process works, so we can go and learn the next part for day 4 of the 30-day wholesaling challenge. Now remember, we're not trying to be experts on day 1, especially day 3 today, but slowly but surely we're getting our knowledge up and getting to work. Now, if you're a virtual wholesaler, my homework for you today is to find your virtual wholesaling market. That is it. Don't stress about this video. Don't stress about trying to figure out everything perfectly. Just find your virtual wholesaling market. Focus on one that meets that criteria, or at least get a little list of it. Then we can go perfectly on the next step here, which is figuring out our title companies and getting that all squared away first. That's going to be on day 4 of the 30-day wholesaling challenge. Remember, all the information is at freewholesaling.com. Check it out, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 4 of the 30-day wholesaling challenge. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.